The main character of this anime, Reit, was thrown out of his own hero's party, but they didn't know that he was the strongest man in the country. The story begins and we see a world where you can gain powerful abilities after killing others. However, Reit was kicked out of the hero's party because he was pretending to be weak. So now, he has decided to become a pharmacist and live a silent life in a village, where he meets a princess who is willing to do anything for him. Eventually, they start living together. At the beginning of the anime, we learn that it's been 3 years since the Demon Lord attacked Elon, and until now, the Demon Lord has conquered half of the world. But the gods of this world didn't abandon them. Each individual in this world is blessed by God's blessing, giving them unique powers. Then we see a girl being attacked by a monster, but she defeats it very easily. This girl has received divine blessings from the gods, which is why she was extremely powerful. Now the scene changes. We see Reit, who was in the forest looking for herbs and medicines. He was currently in the border region of Zoltan. The entire area was surrounded by mountains and barren land. It's also not very well connected to other regions, so its development was progressing very slowly. Reit thinks that this is the best place for him. Next, we see Reit going to the Adventurers Guild. After arriving there, he sells all the herbs he had gathered and in return gets some money. Some adventurers sitting in the guild ask him, "Reit, are you collecting herbs again?" Reit replies, "Yes, that's my job. What's wrong with it?" Then the yellow-haired guy says, "Reit, your sword is really bad. You should buy a better one." Then a bald adventurer says, "Why are you joking? What's he going to do with a sword? He doesn't even use one." Reit says, "Look, I'm not like you guys. I don't want to be an adventurer. I just want to open a pharmacy and live a normal life." Hearing this, everyone was shocked. Then we see Reit going outside, thinking that he needs to open a pharmacy, but for that, he needs a lot of money, which he doesn't have. Just then, a boy comes up to him. We learn that the boy's name is Tanta, and he was taking food to his father. Tanta tells Reit that his father says he is good at carpentry, but Tanta doesn't know what blessing he received from the goddess. Still, he wants to become a carpenter in the future. He also says, "Don't worry, I'll build you a shop someday." Hearing that, Reit was very happy and says he'll look forward to that day. Tanta asks Reit, "What blessing did the goddess give you?" Reit doesn't answer, which makes Tanta angry. He says, "So you're hiding your blessing," and walks away. Now Reit walks away from there and lies down at home. Lying down, he begins thinking about his past, where a party member named Ares calls out to him. Reit asks, "Why did you call me?" Then Ares throws a copper sword at him and tells him to cut through a barrier with full power. Hearing that, Reit begins to wonder why Ares is saying that. Ares says, "What happened? Are you afraid to prove your power?" Hearing this, Reit tries to cut the barrier, but we see that no matter what he does, he can't cut it. Ares says, "So much magic power, so many martial techniques, using all of these, you should be able to cut through this low-level barrier. But you can't." Reit replies, "If instead of this copper sword, I had my Thunderwalker sword, I would have cut through this barrier already." Ares responds, "Oh, so that means it's not your power, it's the sword's power. Reit, you're not a true comrade. A real comrade stands on his own and fights alongside his friends." He continues, "In our last battle against Demon Lord, you couldn't unleash your power, which forced Rudy to cover for you. Because of that, Rudy couldn't fight properly with us, and the enemy got an advantage. That was all because of you. You have the god's blessing of guidance. You were born to lead heroes and guide them to victory. But from the very day you were born, you were never meant to be a knight. Everyone else has surpassed you, they're much stronger than you. You're just a burden to us. We don't need you." Reit says, "But I'm trying to give my best." Ares replies, "No matter what you do, you're useless to us. You're a heavy burden. Even if you become weak, our party members won't say it directly, but Rudy is your sister, so at least don't become a burden to her." Hearing this, Reit becomes very sad and says, "Fine, I'm a burden to all heroes. But from today onwards, I won't be a burden to anyone. Just tell everyone I went off somewhere fighting the Demon Lord." As Reit starts to leave, Ares says, "Leave behind all the items you have, they're not yours." Now the scene returns to the present, where Reit was remembering all of this and he thinks, "Since that day, I've been living here. Ares was right, they are stronger than me. I don't deserve them. I no longer have to fight the Demon Lord." Saying all this, he falls asleep. The next morning, we see Reit goes to the forest again to collect herbs. He thinks, "I don't have any special blessing from the goddess. I just have basic survival skills." As he is thinking this, suddenly an owl bear attacks him from behind. But at the last moment, Reit jumps and climbs a tree, saving himself. After that, Reit go back at the guild, telling everyone that there's an owl bear in the forest. Hearing this, a man named Albert says, "All right, I'll go there, but I need your skill, your power, to defeat the owl bear." Reit directly refuses. Albert says, but this is a big opportunity for you. If you help, you'll move up from D rank to C rank. Red tells him, I'm not interested in ranks or anything like that. I just want to live a simple life and open a medicine shop. Hearing that, Albert gets angry and walks away. Then the guild receptionist, named Migoya, says, I thought you'd help us and in return, your rank would increase too. But Red replies, no, I'm not interested in that. Hearing that, Migoya says, alright, come inside the guild. I'm heading there too. Bring all the herbs you've collected. Red thinks to himself, no matter what, I must hide my past from everyone. Meanwhile, we see Rudy, who was remembering Red. Next, we see that a man named Gonez comes to Red's house. He says, Tanta has fallen seriously ill. Please come quickly with me. Red quickly goes to Tanta's house, where he finds that Tanta was already turning pale. Slowly, it seems to be a kind of disease. Red asks the doctor, Doctor, please tell me since when has Tanta had a fever? The doctor replies, Tanta collapsed at 3 p.m. and he's had a fever since then. Hearing this, Red becomes very worried and thinks, if this continues, Tanta will go blind in just a few hours. He adds, I'm missing one ingredient, blood needles, and they can only be found in the mountains. Gonez says, whatever you need, I'll give it to you. However much money it takes, I'll pay it. Please go to the mountains and get that herb. Hearing this, Red thinks, I need to open a pharmacy, and for that, I need money, so I have to go to the mountain myself. Although it's currently prohibited to go there, I'll have to be careful. Red says, please don't tell the guild that I went to the mountain. And doctor, take care of Tanta until I return. Then we see Red heading toward the mountain, but the path he's taking was too long. So he uses his lightning speed and quickly climbs up. Once he reaches the top, he sees the entire area was on fire, and he panics because the place that's burning is exactly where the blood needle plant grows. As Red moves forward, he thinks, if only Rudy and Ares were here with me, this would be so much easier. Just then, an owlbear appears and attacks him, but Red kills it in a single strike and moves on. Later, Albert and his group of adventurers arrive and find the dead owlbear. They're surprised to see it's already been taken down. Next, we see Red returning with the blood needles. The doctor uses them to prepare medicine, and because of it, Tanta slowly starts recovering. Everyone becomes very happy and thanks Red. The doctor says, Red, when you open your pharmacy, please let me know. I want to place a huge order. By night, Red was heading back home, thinking, I put in so much effort, and still I only managed to get one bag of blood needles. No matter what I do, my power never increases. Just then, Gonez comes running after him and says, wait, I wanted to thank you again. Tanta is recovering because of you. Tell me what you want, whatever it is, I'll give it to you. Red replies, is that so? Then I'll ask for what I need the most. Now we're shown a scene set 4 months later. At the guild, a girl named Reit enters. She says, Migoya, why are you wearing fancy clothes like this? I've never seen you dress like that before. Migoya tells her that she was going to a party, that's why she dressed up like this. Reit asks, whose party are you going to? Migoya says, a good friend of mine named Red. He has opened his own shop now. He used to be an adventurer and his specialty is that he makes medicine really well and gathers herbs. Today, I'm going to his shop's opening. Reit asks, what kind of person is he? Hearing this, Migoya replies, oh, Red? He's a really good guy. He's incredibly kind and helps everyone. Listening to all this, Reit says, I want to know more about him. Please keep telling me. Then Migoya begins praising Red a lot and finally says, you know, Reit, I feel like he's hiding some kind of power inside him. It's like there's a knight hidden within him. Meanwhile, we see Red looking really happy. He thinks to himself, finally, my shop has opened today. Red goes to Gonez and says, you're truly the best. Just like I asked, you built my shop perfectly. Just then, the doctor arrives and asks, Red, did you receive the order I sent? Red replies, yes, doctor, but you'll have to wait until tomorrow evening. The party starts, and Gonez says, Red, don't you have any big dreams? Red replies, no, I just want to live a simple life. Later, we see Red sitting inside his shop, looking very sad because not a single customer has come yet. He thinks, if this continues, all the medicine will go to waste. But Red can't do anything because it's raining and everyone was staying inside their homes. No customers are coming. Just then, a customer arrives, and Red becomes very happy. But when he looks closely, he sees that it's none other than Reit. Reit was also very happy to see Red. From this, we learn that they knew each other already. Then we see the two of them sitting and chatting. Reit says, I never thought I'd meet you here in Zoltan. We find out that she is a B-rank adventurer in Zoltan. Also, Reit was the princess of Logurvia. Red says, Reit, you're a princess, right? Then why did you become a B-rank adventurer? Reit replies, actually, my younger brother wanted the throne. So I left the royal palace, my home, and ran over here to Zoltan because I didn't want to become the reason for our family breaking apart. Now I'm just enjoying my freedom. Then she says, my name is Reit and your name is Red, our names sound so similar. Saying that, she starts blushing and adds, I'm so happy you haven't forgotten me. Red, blushing, says, how could I forget you? Even if it was for a short time, you were my companion. Then Reit asks, why did you come here? Red opens up and tells her everything. Hearing this, she gets angry and says, you're such a good person, so kind, how could they treat you like that? You were a member of their party, right? And still, they treated you like this? That's not right. Red says, I didn't want to become a burden on my party, on my team members. That's why I left them. Reit says, but did they really do the right thing by letting you go? Are they even happy without you? Red replies, Rudy and the others joined together and defeated a demon. And that demon, it was actually on the level of a demon lord. So from my point of view, they're progressing really well without me. Red further says, the tea has gone cold. Wait here, I'll go warm it up again. Then Red goes into the kitchen and becomes very sad, remembering his sister Rudy and how he couldn't do much for her. Meanwhile, Reit enjoys the tea and praises Red, saying it's delicious. Red responds, come on, I'm not that special. Please stop praising me. But Reit gets really shy looking at Red. We learn that the two of them had met long ago. In the city of Eleanor, where Red and the hero party were resting at a spot, and a man was harassing a girl. Annoyed by this, the girl slaps the man hard, hurting his male ego. As he angrily goes to attack her, the girl quickly draws her sword and defeats him, causing the man to run away in fear. That girl's was none other than Reit, she shouts. I don't need anyone. I am a princess, and I will defeat the demon lord by myself. Meanwhile, Red tells his sister Rudy, sis, just focus on your food. Don't pay attention to that girl. Ares asks, who was that girl? The other two heroes respond, that was hero Reit, one of the best adventurers. She's never lost a fight. The scene then shifts back to the present, where Red says, Reit, back then, you were really confused about your feelings, right? Reit replies, oh, is that so? Red says, yes, of course. Reit, have you forgotten? We fought many battles together, but you used to complain every time. Reit says, no, that's not true. I sometimes shared my true feelings too. Red asks, when did that happen? Reit answers, it was back when we were in the mountain village. Now we see a flashback to the mountain village, where Reit was saying, the hero's party is terrible at gathering information. Red replies, what can we do? We don't have any blessings from the goddess that would help us gather information effectively. Reit says, our investigation is going pretty well. Do you want to hear it? Red says, yes, I want to hear. Reit says, alright, I'll tell you, but first you have to say, please, Princess Reit, tell me. Tell a fool like me, only after you say that, I'll tell you anything. But while saying all this, Reit accidentally slips and falls. Then Red starts jokingly pleading, please, Princess Reit, save a fool like me. Hearing this, Reit feels a bit sad seeing how deeply Red cares for his kingdom. Red then says, I never thought you were so serious, so honest about your feelings, which makes Reit pout and get a little annoyed. Seeing her sad, Red starts apologizing. Then Reit tells him, in the village, I found a road from where a lot of goods have been brought in and sold towards the north. There's a mountain cabin used by loggers. But these days, all the logging work is happening in the northeast. Red replies, that's strange. If they haven't delivered any wood, how are they doing logging work? He continues, where did the missing wood go? Did you find anything? Reit says, no, I didn't find any trace of the wood. There's no sign that shows it was moved. Red responds, now I get it. I think they're using magic to move the wood. Reit says, yes, you're exactly right. But one thing I don't understand is why aren't the villagers complaining? Red says, I didn't see any children or elderly people in the village. That can only mean one thing, they've been taken captive. He adds, this isn't the work of goblins or some low-level monster. I think this is the doing of the demon lord's army. Now Red says, I feel like we should work together. Hearing this, Reit replies, are you joking? You know I've already defeated the demon lord's army twice on my own. Red tell her that the army she defeated was weak, It wasn't the main army. The main army was far more powerful. Hearing this, Reit says, "We don't need any heroes. We know how to protect ourselves." Red says, all right, do whatever you want. But would you like to try some cookies?" She looks at him a bit surprised, asking what it is. Red says, "These are cookies. Try one." Reit hesitantly picks up a biscuit and eats it, but ends up liking it a lot. Red asks, "How did you like it?" Blushing, Reit says, "It's okay, I guess." Now the scene shifts back to the present, where Reit says, "At that time, I was completely honest with my feelings." Red thinks to himself, back then, Reit was not honest about her feelings at all. But everything changed after that incident. Now we're again shown a flashback scene. We see the Loggervia scene, where the king announces, "The Demon Lord's army could attack us at any time." Hearing this, a commander says, "We must do something quickly. Because if they attack in our current state, our food and water supply will be destroyed." Reit says, "I've received information that our enemies are in the same condition as us. That means this is our chance to attack. I'll take my main force and launch an offensive." But then a commander objects, "Princess, you are our princess. We can't let you enter enemy territory." Just then Reit's master speaks up, "I think the princess's plan is good." Ares adds, "Please give us a chance as well. We want to help you." But unfortunately their whole plan ends up failing because it turns out Reit's master was actually working with the goblins. Reit was completely shocked and asks, "Who are you? Where is my master?" Asuya says, "Your master, he's long dead. I killed him. But I'm currently controlling his body." Hearing this, Reit becomes extremely furious. As she moves to attack him, a goblin slams her into the ground. Then Asuya says, "In this country, you're worshipped. Everyone listens to you. So if I use you, I can take over the entire nation." But in the very next second, we see a spear strike his chest. It was thrown by Red. Red arrives and saves Reit. Crying, Reit says, "Why are you here?" Red answers, "I sensed something was wrong, so I came." He continues, "Reit, pull yourself together. Pick up your sword. Get ready to fight." Crying is a sign of weakness. Here, Reit picks up her sword, and at that moment, we see that the demon who was hiding inside Reit's master also reveals his true form, a truly terrifying and monstrous one. Reit says, "Don't worry, Rudy will be here soon. But until then, we have to stop this demon." Then we see a fierce battle start between the three of them, where the monster alone was able to overpower both Reit and Red. The monster was proving to be too much for them, but just then Rudy arrives. The moment she shows up, she starts attacking the monster mercilessly. First, she cuts off all its arms, then stabs her sword right into its chest, putting an end to the monster then and there. Seeing Rudy in this ruthless state, Red was extremely shaken. He was in shock. Reit, meanwhile, falls deeper into depression after seeing the condition of her comrades, the ones she used to fight alongside. Now the scene shifts to the castle, where we see Reit sitting alone, visibly upset. Just then, Red arrives and says, "Look, I won't say anything about the current situation. I know you want to fight, but right now, because of the pain in your heart, you don't want to." Reit, crying, says, "What should I do? I'm so scared. I don't want to lose anyone else. I don't want to lose the ones I care about, my master, those close to my heart, my adventurer friends, they've all died. I can't take losing anyone else. And they all died because of me." Seeing Reit like this, Red says, "That's enough, Reit. The point is not that they're gone, the point is how we protect the ones who are still alive. You used to say that Loggervia alone is capable of fighting everyone. What happened now? Have you lost that courage?" He continues, "Join us. Fight alongside us. Help us defeat the Demon Lord." Hearing all this, Reit regains her confidence. She was filled with renewed determination and agrees to fight alongside them. The scene returns to the present. Red thinks to himself, since that day, Reit faced the Demon Lord's army and defeated them. Then Red says, "You must be hungry, right?" Reit replies, "Yeah, very." Red says, "Sorry, I couldn't go shopping today. But there's at least something to eat." Reit says, "It's okay. But, can I stay here and work with you?" Hearing this, Red was utterly surprised. Reit continues, "Both of us staying and working together at this medical store, it sounds like a great plan, right? What do you say?" Red says, "Wait, there are only 2 B-rank adventurers in this village. And you're one of them. If you start working with me, what will happen to your adventuring?" Reit replies, "Don't worry. I'll retire." Red exclaims, "Absolutely not. Besides, I don't even have enough money to pay you." Reit says, "Come on, think about it. If you go out to gather herbs or medicine, your shop will be empty, right? Who will take care of the shop then?" If I'm here, I'll handle it easily. Reit says, it's fine. Not many people come to my shop anyway. Since it's still new, Reit says, don't worry. Your business is going to become highly profitable in the future because I feel like you can create medicines that no one else can. Hearing this, Reit pulls out 2 or 3 medicines and shows them, saying, yes, these are medicines only I can make. Reit explains, look at this red potion. It's a magic potion. With it, I can multiply any medicine 5 times. But Reit says, that's a really bad idea. This way, your medicine won't sell much. Reit replies, no, this sells at a very low price. Reit explains, look, every medicine or potion has a fixed price. If you sell it for more or less, the market will crash. Reit says, yeah, you're right. Then Reit starts laughing and says, I thought you were a very calm person. Reit says, no, I'm not really that calm. Reit replies, see, you don't know some things either, so I'll help you with all that stuff. Reit then understands and says, all right, you can stay here and help me. In the next scene, we see the 2 of them having dinner together. Reit loves the food so much, she gets super excited and says, it's like I've hit the jackpot. From now on, I'll get to eat such delicious food here every day. Reit starts wondering, where did this foodie come from? Then Reit says, don't worry, I'll bring my own mat and bed too. Reit says, why are you talking like you're going to stay with me? Reit replies, of course, I'll stay with you. Hearing that, Reit gets totally flustered. Now the scene shifts to the hero's party, where we see Ares bringing in a new girl to replace Reit. This girl's divine blessing is association. Then Rudy walks out of the tent and says, I'm Rudy, and from now on, you'll be working under me. That's where part 1 ends. So guys, if you like this recap, please like this video and do subscribe for more recaps and part 2.